What's up guys, my name is Michael and I am here to help you move into the 5D. Today I'm gonna tell a little bit about a story that might blow your mind. It's a story about how I believe that there's life after death, how spirits basically speak to you, and in the end I will tell what I've come down to, what I think how cancer is shaped and created in the human body. My father passed away in cancer, so I got obsessed with it. So in the end, I will tell a little bit about that. But let's dive into the story and how life can play out in a very strange way sometimes. So back in 2012, I was very much like a lost soul, even if we're all lost in one way or the other always. I hadn't seen my father in basically over 10 years time, and at that point I remember I was very much confused, and all of a sudden my father passed away. It came really fast and I didn't really know how to meet the whole thing. I was very much closed, and I was very angry and sad at the same time, and I didn't want to show any emotions. I was completely stone cold. But what happened and what opened me up was that I lived in a very small apartment with my ex-girlfriend at that time, and when I was by myself, lights starts to go on and off, and like microwave, like ding ding ding, TV, things were moved. A phone that I had just repaired, because I was repairing phones at this time, flew into the wall, and all of these things seemed to happen when I was by myself almost. So no one really believed me, and I thought I really went crazy. And here is where I started to investigate the idea of speaking to dead people. And I was like, what if I can speak to dead people? What if I can just communicate with my dead father that I really want to communicate with? Because I had a really bad ending with him, to be honest. So that's what was like the fundamental thing. I felt inside of my heart that I want a clean, nice slate of forgiveness and like love. And one thing led to the other, and then one day a woman shows up basically everywhere, like on the streets, in the store, and she was like, hello, 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 and she was like saying hello, and I was like, who is this woman? And this woman keeps saying hello. And then one night I'm out on a pub, and I'm a little bit drunk, and I was smoking at this time, and I'm walking into the pub, and then she stands there on like a bar table, and she says hello, and I was like, this is really strange. Like, where's the camera? Like, where is the candid camera somewhere? Like, what's going on? Like, so I walk up to this woman, and hear me out. I asked who she was, and she's like, my name is and I am a medium, and your father needs to talk to you. And I was like, what the? It's like, my father is dead. And she's like, yeah, exactly. That's why we need to talk. And at that time, I couldn't really understand, but at the same time, I was very open. I was open. I was like, this is really strange. Do you want money, or what is it that you want? But she actually booked a time with me, and she came to our place. She didn't want any money, and she sat there for 3 hours. And I can't remember everything, but one thing that I do remember is what she said through. My father was speaking through her. And my father wanted me to live my life to the fullest. He couldn't really understand what he was doing when he was in this body, because he was sick. His body was sick, literally. And ever since then, I've been to healing. I believe that there is life after death, that we have reincarnations, that we can speak and channel from other dead people, but also spirits. And I'm fully convinced that we have spirit guides that helps us, and we can talk to them and ask them for help and guidance, and it's all orchestrated in a beautiful symphony, basically a whole life. And ever since then, my journey has been crazy. She said one very interesting thing, and that is to sit down and ask for what you want. She's like, ask your father. Ask your father, you want this, or what? Can you help me with this or this, or should I do this or this? And I did, and I keep doing it. I just ask for help from my guides. And every time I do, I just get really good guidance. I've been on a traveling journey for the past 5 years, and I just threw myself out. and just the most beautiful things ever happened, always. And I'm always protected. And this is just one of many, many, many stories that I can tell. But if you doubt it, you should try for yourself. You should sit and like, should I do this thing or should I do this thing? And then let life play itself out. Just trust that life is giving you the exact right direction that you need in the moment. When it's time, it's time. When it's not time, it's not time. And when we understand that there's actually something bigger than us, even if we are here and we decide and we take the action and we do all the stuff and we can't be a victim and we have to go out and do stuff. But if we understand that there is also something that's co-creating all of this and we are part of that and we work with it instead of against it, all of a sudden life could just like unfold in ways that you never even thought was possible. So I 100% believe that when we open up to the fact that when someone dies, the soul travels out and the soul keeps on living, and the soul is just like energy that we can't see with our eyes. And when we open up to the fact that the soul is out there, we also open up to getting the guidance and the messages from the other side. And I lived through these things where people maybe don't do, and they don't maybe see these things happening, but I lived through it, and I can tell you that there is nothing else that's more clear to me than that there is a life after death. That there is something else after, but not in the form of a physical body and you have a name and whatever. So spirit speaks through other people, or spirit speaks through animals, or spirits speak through something that happens. Spirits can even speak through your phone, which is like giving you the right things in the right moment, and you're seeing the right information, you are accessing the right information in the right moment. Maybe spirits speak through, like, I'm just an example, like I came home from a travel, and it's just before Christmas, and I put the speaker on, and a song comes on like welcome home, something. There was some song, some Christmas song about welcome home, and it's just like, oh, okay, you are actually with me. Like my father or whoever spirit is there is with me. And it made me feel like really safe in a way. So spirit can speak through situations. And like in my hallucination, spirit speaks through other people, through guiding other people to you, or like guiding other people to call you or reach out to you, or spirit even speak through other people when it's kind of like, oh, the taxi driver that I had, me and him, we had so much things together when both of had ayahuasca, and like, how big is that chance of all the thousands of taxi drivers, and you get this one that also know how to drink ayahuasca. So spirit kind of like, that's how we always get reminded that we're always guided, and the only thing that we need to do is we need to ask. We ask every day, every single day. What do I want? What do I want? Ask all the time. And then just let it go. Ask, let it go. Ask, let it go. And let it happen. Because if we are continuously attached to the idea about what we need or want or whatever that is, you're not going to get it. As long as you're like thinking on it, it's like you have resistance to it. So it needs to be spoken out, and then just completely surrender to life. Has the exact right moment to deliver it for you. Not in the way that you want it, because your mind wants to get it in some way, but life gives it in a completely different way. And if you come this far in the video, I just said that my father passed away in a cancer, and I got really obsessed of understanding what caused the cancer, and really I wanted to know why he died really. He was 44 and he died really early, and that just skyrocketed me into this massive amount of grief and sadness, and this whole spiritual awakening where I didn't really know who I was, when I was, what happened, or nothing. I was basically in complete survival mode. I just acted it was like I was a slave to my own system, and my system just kept on reacting, and it was a really terrifying place to be in. So if you lost a loved one, comment down below, or like a parent or a spouse or anything. I know exactly how it is and how it can be. And I think also the most important thing when you lose like a partner or a parent or anything like that, it's to really go through the process of healing it. Because if that is not healed, nothing else will ever work. If I would never, like, it took me 10 years to get out of that healing. 10 years. It was a really long time of healing. Really long time. But now, after, I can see so many beautiful things, and I have so many lessons, and I was like, I'm grateful. I know that I couldn't really probably be with my father anyway when he was alive. We have a better relationship right now, so you can actually develop a relationship with that loved or that one that you lost. So instead of like having a physical relationship, you have a relationship, and you bring that person wherever you go. And I really speak to my father, not every day, but often when I need some sort of guidance or help, or I just like, Father, Daddy, like, I could really use some guidance right now. I feel a little bit lost. I don't really know what to do. Can you please give me a sign? Should I do this or should I do this? I want to go towards whatever that is, and like, please help me progress, for example, and be very specific with the things, because if you're not specific, many times when I ask, and if I'm not specific, I get it, but then I see that I didn't get it, the thing that I really wanted, because I was not specific enough, which is also interesting how you can observe that. So then we come to the part where I got obsessed with this. Like, I really got super obsessed, and I got obsessed over finding out why my father got the super rare cancer that he got. And I wrote about it in my book. It's called Losing Dad, Finding Myself. I wrote it in 2019. It's a great book. It's a lot of information about how an awakening was for me and how it can help you. I also wrote another book, and that is How to Conquer Life as a Highly Sensitive. I can, if someone wants, comment, and I can send it to you. I found out, and this might be really radical, and maybe not everyone agrees about this, because when I say this to people, often the people that are in sadness, they don't want to hear this. So maybe you don't want to hear this, but have an open mind when I tell you this. My father, or any other person with a cancer, I'm just taking him as an example. All the people with diseases, any disease in the body, have manifested that disease by themselves through their mind into their body. It starts with a lot of beliefs in the mind, programming from parents, surroundings, that creates beliefs, that creates later behaviors, and those behaviors creates disease in the body. Many times when we grow up, we create these beliefs that also creates these behaviors, and that is connected to emotions. For example, shame. I believe my father had tons of shame. The shame literally, like, if you think about shame is the like lowest vibe frequency that you can have in a body. It's disgusting. Like, it's really not nice. It sits in your anus, basically. It sits around your down there. My father's cancer was started in his ass. It's an anus. And I can just see from my own life that I used to have problem with my stomach and with my ass. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so. All of these stuff are passed on to us, like it or not. It's all about what's put in the mind. If the mind is sick, the body will be sick. The mind has programming that affects the body. That keeps emotions holding on. That's why when I wrote this book in 2019, I released it 2019, I wrote about all of this stuff because I think it's so important that if you had a parent or someone in your upbringing that had a cancer or any other disease, it doesn't have to be cancer, it can be any other disease. you be so sure, if it's from your parents or grandparents or whatever, you will have a part of that. And if healing is not involved in your life, it really should be, because like it or not, time will tell if you get it. But often when you get it, it's too late and people, they leave. So in my hallucination, my father killed himself. My father, without him knowing it, he killed himself by not working on himself. And he didn't even know. He thought he knew. He was like starting to bike and he was like running and all of this stuff. But that doesn't help the mind. The mind needs to heal. That's why a coach or plant medicine or like something that really tangible is really good for us. All right, guys, I hope you liked this story time and then that it was educational for you and that you learned something. Comment down below if there's something you're wondering about. Please subscribe to the channel. That would mean a lot to me. And I see you in the next video, guys.